Hey everybody, it's the end of the world as we know it. Yikes. Whew. And it looks like I got a little blip there. There we go. Green screen. Whatever. Anyway, how's everybody going? I mean, it's bad, right? I mean, biggest market flush out, fastest market flush out ever. Faster than COVID. Yikes. Anyway, trillions of dollars of value gone. And well, I didn't know what was going to cause Nvidia to drop like this, but there you go. We are down to the August low on Nvidia, possibly going down here. Be careful, everybody. I'm telling you, anybody that was doubting me, wow. That's just, one I was looking at. I mean, the list is pretty long. It's not as long as Friday. We are going to get that 5,000 level. We're going to hit the weekly roadmap line. This went way faster than, I mean, this is like COVID fast right here. Like that. We're going to open up right down here and get it. This has been absolutely wild. I mean, look at this. Look at that. Looky. Absolutely wild. I'm not like, let's not even bother with the reversal until we actually do some sort of reversal. Let's just remove all this because it doesn't matter right now. We broke through all that support. It'll be resistance on the way back up. We can redraw it as it comes into play. Now, the crazy thing, when we really zoom out and look at this, I know people are like, oh man, JT, this is horrible. It's really bad. So when we zoom out and look at this though, it's not really that bad. I mean, yeah, it's bad, but it's fast. If we do the same size pullback we did in all of 22, we've still got more to go. Don't tell me that. If this is, I was warning about potential downside here. This is why. Anybody with me now? Everybody understanding the problems I was seeing? So there's a big cluster support right down there. Funny enough, JT's got an alert set it right there. Right there. We could come all the way down here. That's going to really hurt. Lower than the low we made in 22. That's entirely possible. But we're not going to do it in one go. This is likely a wave 3. We're probably going to get a little bounce, a final flush, a big reversal, and we could go back up and make new highs before we do this. Now, there's going to be a level in here that we're going to have to watch very, 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 very closely. That's the 618. The 50 to, basically it's the 50 to 786. When we draw this on here, this zone right here, danger zone for a bounce. Sliced right through that one. All these little bits I've left in here. When we bounce, come on. Being slow and laggy here today. Cool. Love it. What the heck? when we bounce, this will be a key zone right in here. Key zone. If we stop there and turn down, if you thought this was fast, this will be bigger and faster. I'm just throwing it out there. Bigger and faster. If we bounce up here, stop. Coming down here, probably going to be faster. It might even go like this. Not joking. Not joking. So this one likely getting long in the tooth on this drop. This could, so that the warning here, I'm not for sure if this is going to be done yet. Here, there's going to be a 3-wave up, and we get another lower low. Very possible. Very, very possible. So, A up, A down finishing, quite possible. Or it could be a 1 down, and we get a 2 up. That'd be a rough go. To, this could be this might not just be an A, this could be a wave 1. This could be a wave 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Yeah, this could get bad, but especially when you look at the, I don't even have it drawn on this one. Let's see. Is this the one I have it drawn on? Took it off all of them, it looks like. There's the monthly. I talked about this. You remember I talked about this? So this is the bubble pattern shaping up on the S&P 500. If you've never seen this before, check it out. We do this right here. Be careful out there. Like, we're in for potential hurt here. This could last a while, all right? This might not just be over quickly. Might not be. There's still, we still haven't resolved anything here as far as what the potential path is going forward. We got a lot to unpack here in the coming days as we get more information. We're still in the first bit of the first drop here. Till this wraps up, not sure where we're heading. This looks a lot like, and this is what the low we're coming out of right here. This is the low that we're coming out of right here. Now, where was the 1, 2, 3? So this is the difficult part. Is that 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4? This is where it gets. It's like, where are we done? Is this it? Or are we gonna do another little piece up here? And that'd be it. So at this point, we're just guessing. We haven't really hit the. Now, the scary thing on all this, like, was that it? Is this it? I don't know. Usually we hit the roadmap line on 2s and 4s when the move fits between 100 and 150 candles. That's way over 150 candles. Way over. So now we're looking at something like this. Well, we didn't have any 2 and 4 on that move. So this makes it awful difficult. Now, this correction over here hit the 3-month. Somewhere over here, we're going to hit the 3-month again. Hitting 74, hitting 09. Could be a little while. Don't have to do it immediately. So, lots of stuff here. Lots of stuff. It's, you know, it's going to be difficult trading for a little bit. That, we're setting up for potential reversal here. Down to 5. Took that one all the way to the bottom. Yeah. I warned that we might be coming down to the bottom. So everything kind of wrapping up here. Now, this could hang out here for a little while. A couple weeks. We could definitely hang out in the bottom. Don't usually spend more than a month or so down here before we start reversing stuff. So we'll watch for a big kind of reversal. The market can't go one direction. It runs out of energy. It just can't go one direction without stopping. That's why we get reversals. That's why we get, but all 3 of these pretty much in the bottoming zone. Yes, you know what? This is delayed data by 10 minutes. So if you get live data, I'm slightly behind. We'll switch to the cash index here when it opens in like 2 minutes. That was the roadmap bounce right there. You see it? Daily roadmap bounce. I didn't quite expect it to let go of the rope, but we let go of the rope. Run the high. We're in reversal territory. We could dip just a little lower, but we're at the point where we might reverse here. First move down, retrace. Second move down. Could just be a big A, 3-wave A. Possible. Got to watch for a B that holds right here. Or this could be the whole correction and we go at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to new highs. Either way, we're setting up for another big move down in the future. All right. Please excuse that it's confusing. Yeah, there's a lot of operative things going on. Big picture, the potential is like this. Big picture, potential is to correct this back out. That low from 2009 to this high right here. Here's the potential right there. And we're talking about a prolonged time period also. Could come all the way down here. Could come all the way down here. This, if you've never seen me show this before, check it out. Looky, right back here. There goes the market open. See this right here? This chop, rip higher, and we came right back down. That was the Great Depression. Got one little blip in there, the bubble pattern. Now, if we go to today, this might actually pull over here. And we're looking at a level somewhere down here. Might chop a little bit and do that. I've been talking about this on and off for a little while. For those who've been with me, anybody surprised that this is actually playing out in the chat? It's kind of crazy. Oh, look at that. CMG hit that downside target area. Have to go look at some of these. I mean, I surprise myself when it starts working out, but so I expect us to do this little bit before we do that bit. But this is probably what's coming. Sooner or later. We just did this little piece. That was 2 months to go down 30% roughly. We're not even we haven't even pulled back as much as the initial drop. You know, we're only down 20% in 3 months. So this is not as bad as the Great Depression yet. Going a little slower. Things could get spicy. There's a lot to work. There's a lot to unpack. I'm sorry if you're new to me and you haven't seen this before, but this is, you know, we're kind of updating where we're at right now. There's a lot going on, a lot happening. There we go, flushing on down, 4,800. Check out that weekly target zone. Yeah, we're right there in it. Right in the weekly. The monthly sits down a little bit more. My indicators aren't even going to load. My roadmap line, now 900,000 people are trying to check their portfolio, see how bad it is. So let's look at a couple other things here. NASDAQ down to the weekly roadmap line. Also, been talking about a lot of stuff in the last couple weeks, but here we are. Here we are. Did I expect it to go down this far this fast? Not really. This is quite possibly still in the 3. Extending the 3 really far down. Yeah, this is probably 1, 2, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this one could go down quite a bit more. Unfortunately, Russell hitting some of those downside targets already. Like I said, this is developing way faster than I really expected. But look, right there. Not far to go to that target zone. Oil, man, this thing made a big rip down last night, well into the 50s. Right in the target. Can't believe that. Roadmap line still way up here. This one may take a... So if we don't hold this box, we're probably going to take a dip right down in here on oil. Low 50s, maybe high 40s. It's been sitting in the cards for a little while. Gold. Be careful on gold. That's still needing... I don't think that last night was the pullback. Zip back down to the daily chart. Things are going to be really slow here, apparently. So that's potentially a 1-2. Working on the 3 here in gold. That dip last night may have been the 1-2. Then we still got more to go. Let's see, proportion wise. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's gold probably going on down. Probably going to see gold. This will blow people's minds that gold does this. Be careful. Silver got close to levels I was looking for. I was priced out of doing anything last night. The margins on all my accounts were just insane. Oh, man, look at that. That tapped. Oh, it was like, what was the low? 27.54. 54 cents away from that 27 level. This could be it on silver right there. That was the target I was looking for. Wow. Silver breaking back above here. Probably on its way to 60. Probably 50 at least. Back to the all-time high. Right up here at 50, 55, and 60. The upside targets on silver. That's pretty sweet right there. Pretty sweet indeed. Let's see. Bitcoin has done some damage. Let's go to the spot market. That's Bitstamp. Let's go to all-time history. Loading, loading, loading. There we go. All-time history. We're down to the cautionary warning zone. This high from back here is where we want to stay above. The March 24 high. We want to stay above that. Now, a dip below it, that's okay. Getting closes, hourly closes and 4-hour closes, and then building up to a couple daily closes below that level. That's where we start getting in trouble. Right there. Close is okay. Crossing down here, that starts calling into question, is Bitcoin going to be able to come back from this? I mean, that's where the odds tip that this is done and we're going lower. Even on a rally, we may make a lower high and take a bath. Check it out. Ethereum down to 1,500. Not good. Not good at all. This is the line in the sand right here. 1,500. We poked it. That's poking the bear right there. Like, literally. If that gets any kind of continuation below that level, at this point, Ethereum's going triple digits, like back below 1,000, and probably going to make a lower low than the low we have back here in June of 22. Load, please. Man, this makes it incredibly difficult on live markets when it's being so slow. Probably going lower than this low right here. This is it. We're at the limit. Yeah. This has been setting up for, I mean, this, like, I've been really concerned about this one. Like, it's set this up quite a while. NKD is below. This is Japanese stock market. I use this as an indication of global liquidity. Markets getting absolutely crushed around the world today. You know, we're the last ones to open for the day. That is Monday, April 7th, 2025. This dipped lower than that August low. I was concerned about that. This might have more downside to go. Target's actually down a little lower, down below 30,000. Between 28 and 30,000 on the Nike. And we may see some more downside before we can. And this will be a giant three-wave correction. If it does that, then we could potentially take this higher. But it also could be a setup for continuation lower. That's the bummer here. Is this just a 1, 2, and we go 3, 4, 5? And then this sets up a bigger long-term correction in the Nike. I don't know. Here's the upside potential, and downside potential is way down on the Nike. I watch it as an indication of global liquidity. We're actually reversing pretty good on the Nike, so fingers crossed we can do that in the U.S. markets. Dollar, relatively unfazed today. Look at that. Dipped big last Friday. Switch back to the daily charts. Loading, loading, loading. And Friday was an up day. We're just sitting there at the top of the range on Friday. Relatively unfazed. Check out the Euro USD. A little bit of Forex. See how the world coming apart here. Now, I brought some charts. I thought I'd start out talking here before we go other places, but this looks like a 1, 2, and we might be on the way to, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get the 5 pop up in here. So dollar probably going to take another spill before we come on down. Looks like the dollar is going to drop and the euro is going to pop one more time. I brought some charts, so let's see what I got here. Let's see where, and stuff for videos. There we go. This is what I want to kind of warn you about. Look at all these other things here. See if I can pop that out, pull it over. This right here. This is market cap global, you know, look at this, February 19th. The US market cap. We were at $54 trillion. Now we're at 45 trillion as of the 4th. Of course, the 5th was even lower. 6th is even lower, and 7th is even lower now. Even though we were closed on the weekend, prices were pushing down. So at the end of the day, if we close down here, we're going to have another dip. April in 24, we just made a round trip, right? We added $11 trillion to the market cap, and we take 11 trillion back off. That's kind of wild when you think about the money effect right there. Remember, I always say there's only like 10% of that money. So that's $1 trillion flowing into and back out of the market, U.S. markets. And this is the scary chart that I wanted to, that I brought to talk about right here. So typically we get about a $250 right here, 250 on the price to earnings, and we usually get about around a 16 to 18x multiplier. Now, right now, if we take it a 250 and a 20x multiplier, that puts the bottom right in the vicinity where we are. If we go to an 18x multiplier, 4,500. If we take it to the numbers, and let me copy this over where I can draw on it really quickly. This is what gets scary. If we take this down to the 2018 numbers where we were 220 and a 16, that puts it right there at 3,500 potential for the S&P. A lot of people are saying this is the low, but obviously we're not holding that right now. We're below that number. We're talking about a forward PE versus the pricing on that forward PE. And we're at 48.70 right now, pushing on lower. So we're in this, looking at a 22x. This is kind of where we've been right here. This is the earnings per share kind of baseline thought. If we drop down to a 220 and put a 16x on it, we're looking at numbers down here in 3,500. Ouch. These are the forward-looking EPS multiplier for the earnings on the S&P 500. 30-year average is 16. We've been hanging out here at 22. This is, why do they say we got a lot of fluff? We've been sitting here at 22. Average forward price to earnings growth outlook. Historically, 30-year average for the U.S. stock market is 16. And 14 was actually the 2018 low right there. So if we do that, potential to go down to 3,100 if we priced it down to 220. If we priced it to 250, 3,500, which right there, 3,500. So if earnings per share erode, things could get ugly in a hurry. We won't know that. I mean, we got earnings coming up, but we won't know those numbers for a while. So it's where things can get pretty ugly. Now, the list is crazy today. Crazy long. Got to watch out. There's lots of pitfalls out there. Opportunity. Let's see if I can talk about this. I'm going to try this trade out. There's a trade I found using a new tool that I found. And let's just clean this up. Check it out right here. So these guys have earnings coming up. Zoom her out. Man, it's gonna be painful if this is the way it goes the whole day. So we're looking at down here is the low that we've had since COVID, right here, right around 27. It's been a move up, a retrace, move up, big retrace, kind of sideways chop. If you take and play the earnings this week, do a 27 strike for like 20 cents. We're talking about only 4 days left. Coming down here, we need like a 30% downside to get to 27. Oh yeah, that's even spicier now. Look at that. You get 30 cents on it. IV ramped up. 30 cents potential. You got to be willing. You would sell that put right there. Just straight up sell the put. You got to be willing to buy Delta Airlines for $27 a share. 100 shares per put you sold. So look at those numbers. 30 cents. Let's grab the calculator. 30 cents divided by $2,700 bucks. Well, it'd be 30 bucks. 30 bucks divided by 2,700 bucks. 1% return right there. But we're only looking at a 4-day. I just closed the calculator. That was smooth. So 1% in 4 days. Not bad. Take 365 divided by 4. Talking about a 91. So 0.11 or 0.011. 0.011 times 91. That's 100% yearly return right there. Annualized rate of return, 100%. That's a pretty good one. Pretty dang good opportunity right there. I'm going to try to find more of these, but that right there, no, look at that. That's even spicier now. Even higher than 30 cents. That's getting wild. And check it out. Like, yeah, this could get punished on earnings, but since COVID, the low has only been $27 a share. And we're talking about a potential downside to 27 being right there. It's 25% downside right at the moment. It was almost 30 from the close on Friday. 25% downside. Could it do it? Yeah, could. What kind of move is Delta pricing in? Just like, I'm just pointing out a bright spot in the potential market here. So DAL right now hanging out at 36. Take the 36, we sell that side, sell this side. So 3, 4, 5. Roughly a $6 move is what they're pricing in. So that's down to 30 on the downside, or possibly up to 42 on the upside. So that's what the options market's pricing in. So 27 is relatively safe, like $3 more out of the money. Okay. If you do it, let me know if you do it. I was going to do a couple of them. See how it shakes out. Bright spot and otherwise getting absolutely wrecked market. Let's check in on some other strength plays that I've identified lately. DG, just chopping around a little bit. Down just a little bit. It's been a heck of a move off the low so far. We're into that gap down resistance zone right there. Probably take a little bit to work through it. Still has large potential upside. Big potential upside. Another one we've been looking at lately, GES. Load. Man, this is going to be a slow show. Yeah, holding a higher low. If we can hold on to this, sets up the big, small picture. Potential to come on up to the $15 area, right up in here. $14, $15 on the next move. And we still have the bigger picture. Absolute crazy. Big picture potential. Have the adjustment button on. Turn that off. Come on. What the heck? There it goes. This big picture potential measure bounce. First move up. Big long-term correction. Or maybe that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And fast correction. Either way. Big potential upside up here, but it's probably going to take a while, several years. Probably longer than you're willing to hold any options for. There's probably not options to take advantage of. This is probably going to be way past 27. So, are we bouncing? Not yet. Doesn't look like. I mean, we did dip down to 48. So coming up, it's going to be volatile. Like, it's going to take 2 hours to flush out all the margin calls. So I wouldn't even consider really trading much till after 11:30 probably. Yeah. little bit of bounce like we did spike down. Watch out for a wave 4. Wave 4s can be a 382 of this drop. Come on. Man, I can't. It's like being so slow, I can't do anything. Dang, I'm going to close the browser and see if I can't get a better connection. It's killing me. See if we can't get some sort of better connection going here. Maybe worse. I don't know. And yeah. Cool. Not gonna. That didn't help any. So cool. Sorry, everybody. All right. Yeah, turning green on the day. Get that high, that low. There we go. 382. A little more responsive. So we're looking for resistance at 51.85, which is, in the vicinity where we were on Friday. Watch out, it's right in there. If we pop up to that, we may bounce down and make a lower low. Still in the cards right there. We'll have to get through that resistance to come on up. A lot of danger in the market right now. There's a lot of danger levels. So above this level, we'd really be watching for the 5,600 level right in here. Hadn't even loaded my watch list. So like Apple, same sort of situation. If you wanted to, think about it. Buying Apple at 150, that's pretty good. Could it go even lower? Yeah, it could. But buying Apple at 150, that's pretty spicy. Pretty spicy opportunity. We could look at a 4-day option here. Check out this baby. You get almost $2. You could go down even further. Go down 140. Still get pretty good premium here. Market is freaked out right now. This is a seller's potential market right here. Yeah, well, what if it went even further down? It's entirely possible. But look, 140 is all the way down here on Apple. All the way down here. That'd be a pretty good spot to be buying shares. And we have to do that by Friday. Could it do it by Friday? Sure. Is it likely to bounce? Yeah, probably likely to bounce. So that's another one right there. All right. Remember, this isn't about tariffs. On Friday, Trump said the quiet part out loud. He said he's trying to force Jerome Powell to cut rates. Check in on rates. And what do we got cooking? This is about refinancing $7 trillion. All right, for the next however many, 2 years, 3 years. This is about trying to save the budget. And we're not really budging the rates that much. We've pushed them down a hair, but we haven't crashed them. Now, remember what I said about this chart, DGS2. Every time the blue and the orange cross, we get a market freak out. Guess what we got? You can say it's Trump induced or whatever. We got a market freak out. I said I didn't know what it was going to be. There's potential for him to cut rates and push this back down if this thing prolongs. I can't even load the Fed funds. The orange is where it was, or where it is. There it goes. Every time in the past. 2019 into 2020, market freak out. 2007, 2008, 2009, market freak out. .com bust, market freak out. This is like an indicator for a potential market freak out. Here we go. Market's freaking out. Freaking out. Yeah, I can't even load a watch list. Cool. There's Crypto Power Plays. There. Can't get the Morning Monster list. Cool. There we go. Nope, that's not the Morning Monster list. Huh. That's not it. Oh well. Thanks for playing. So what else we got? Amazon. Not really reacting much today. Microsoft. Ooh, still getting hit. That one's well below the target. See how we're doing on infinite market cap. Gold hanging on to 20 trillion pretty tightly. Apple's lost basically. Man, we're getting close to $1 trillion off of Apple. Getting close to $1 trillion. Well, not quite $1 trillion off of Microsoft from its peak. Nvidia definitely down $1 trillion. Might lose more. Might drop out of the $2 trillion club. Amazon. Bitcoin. Hanging with silver. Meta. That one still has a really strong ability to double coming out of this. Tesla has a strong ability to double or triple coming out of this. Walmart has the ability to double coming out of this. Costco could double coming out of this. Netflix could easily double, if not triple. T-Mobile getting whacked. Look at that big drop. T-Mobile's turning on Starlink in July for money. We've got financial earnings coming up this week. JPM. Golly, man. This is just painful to sit here and try to do anything. So looking at the calendar. FOMC minutes on Wednesday. Volatility event. CPI on Thursday. PPI on Friday. See how that goes down. You know, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Just because I've talked about anything doesn't mean it'll come true. You know, past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. And this presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instruments. So if you are concerned about losing your real money, don't trade. Don't trade stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries, bonds. Don't trade any of that stuff. Don't long it. Don't short it. Don't trade it. If you desire personal financial advice, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor, but they're getting wrecked too. So it's up to you. Gotta watch out for number one. So JPM has earnings. They don't have any of the earnings notifications coming up, showing up on here. Earnings on Friday. JPM, BAC. These are starting to look like levels that we might bounce from here. And Mara was always a gamble to make it back to the high, but you know it's crazy enough. You do the math, and Mara can go back to the high. Where did it come from? Go look at where it came from and where it went to last cycle. kind of crazy. But it does rely on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin breaks down, nothing's going anywhere. So let me look at Mara real quick, really quickly. It might have been a big bubble pattern. Might it be? Possibly. But they're doing the same thing as MicroStrategy right now. Kind of wild. Check it out. Let's go to a clean chart. Loading, loading, loading. Wow. TradingView is just sucking it down today. Don't got the capacity for this, for market crash. Check this out. I'm not saying this can recover or do anything at all. $11. Wow. Difficult to talk about anything when it doesn't move. Yeah. Man, can't do anything. There we go. So look at this right here. It looks more like the GME chart, but we came from 59 cents, went to $85, I think it was, at the peak up there. So what concerns me is that big spike, lower spike, lower spike. Maybe we don't get anything that breaks out again. But this did hold a significantly higher low instead of making a lower low as we've done in the past. That sets up the potential over here. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I mean, past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. That move up, this retrace, puts these potentials 40, 48, 59, 79 for the next move, and potential still in the cards to do that right there. Still in the cards, but you know, can it do it? I don't know. That's a 5 up, 3 retrace, makes it a potential 1-2. Am I optimistic? Yeah, I'm optimistic. I've got quite a bit of money on it, but doesn't have to work. I'm basically break even right now with the majority of my position at this price right here. Potential for that, and that, and that. Will it do it? I don't know. Could it easily just break down and go to 0? Possible. Possible. Anything's possible. This is where it gets even crazier when you look at the 1, 2. The perfect hit on the 618. Move up, retrace. Next move up. Yeah, that's where ridiculous levels. 100 still in the cards. You can doubt it all you want, but it's okay. Mathematically, still potentially works. Did we load this yet? No, we did not. Can load the crypto power plays list, but we can't seem to load. Dang. Can't load the morning monster list. We load the red list. Yeah, the list manager is not working. Anyway, welcome everybody. Man, this is the most people I've had this far in the show, I think. I know it's a bad day. And we'll see where we go. See where we go. I can't even, like, the charts just aren't even loading for me, so it's like, where's the opportunity? It's all over the place. Like this one, probably one of the spiciest ones. Let's see. I saw a CMG fire off the alert. Let's go look at the OKE. Oh, look at that CMG down to the target. This could be a long-term buying opportunity on CMG. OKE. That broke down. Back to the lows. PLTR. Guess what? Anybody remember me talking about that dipping down? Got the daily target. Does it still have potential to go even lower? You betcha. I just have to go off my targets at the moment because nothing's drawing. Still potential down to the 30s. That tagged that low right there on PLTR that I've been warning about for a long time. I don't even know why that just switched to GES when I was drawing on PLTR. Wild. Let's go back to CMG. Come on. Load. God, this is driving me crazy. CMG was a big correction. 1, 2, 3, right down to the target. You want something that might go up. You could buy and hold. I'd bail at 40 if it continued to erode. Here's the kind of upside potential, 100 from 40. Potentially all the way up there. The charts are being very difficult right now, so it's hard to illustrate it all, but I was waiting for this. Had the alert there. We fired off. This is a buying opportunity on CMG. Kava. And NDX turn. Well, it turns green from the open, but it's still got the gap down. So that's the caveat there. We still gap down open. So Kava. That one also might be fine at the bottom. NDX. Load her up. And we're still down 300 points on the day. Still gap down 300. So green on the day, green from the open, but it's still got that giant gap down. So, look at that. S&P coming back up past the close. Here's your big bounce. If we get through, watch out. This thing could rip back. There's the next resistance up here, 5,600. Watch out. Watch out for this to come back down and make a lower low too. We stop right here. We start down again. Oh man, this is going to be crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm just sitting here like not able to even load anything. God, I love it. Can't load my watch list. I shouldn't have restarted. Oh, there it goes. Starting to become responsive. I can't connect all those symbols. Cool. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. I'll be back again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. This is people have gone short. You're about to get ripped, and then you might get ripped if you go long, and, be careful. This is the most dangerous trading environment I know. I sat on my hands on Friday for this very reason, because you can lose your money quickly. So here's the levels right there. We get through that 5180 level, maybe up to 5200. We can see some upside, 5,600, next upside resistance. If we turn down in this vicinity, watch for a lower low, and then we'll come back up again right there. I'll be back, same bat time, same bat channel, 9:15 tomorrow morning. We'll do it again and hunt for opportunities. Hopefully we won't have like this big down day where everybody's like trying to use TradingView and it's frozen up. I'll be hanging out in Discord, throwing out tidbits as I find them. I threw out some nice opportunities like Apple and Delta Airlines and Guess and DG. Trying to talk about the bright spots where I'm putting, where I'm actually putting some risk on today. So have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye for now.